What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building, and I just want to go ahead and say first things first. Thank you, God, for another day and another opportunity. But as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen today, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make the very best playmaker slash point forward build going into NBA 2K23. Now, I did make one on NBA 2K22 because I truly believe we're going to be seeing a very similar builder system coming in NBA 2K23. Now, I'm going to be showing y'all gameplay right here of the build before we even get into the making. Now, that's something that I'm going to be bringing to y'all from now on. But as y'all can see with the dribbling, you're pretty much able to do a little bit of everything. The defense is pretty solid, and especially when it comes down to the movement and the shooting, you're going to be able to move just as good as any other normal playmaker, but with the ability to shoot and get that sharpshooting takeover. Now, if you're paying attention, you're going to see that we also are able to get the lockdown, but with this build, I'm really enjoying what the movement is looking like. Now, if you're looking to really make a true point forward type build going into the new year, I would really go ahead and stay around just so we can go ahead and get into the build making. But before that, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Now, if you want to be a part of the Rich family, go ahead and turn on post notifications. Now, if y'all want to help me get this video out to the recommended pages, be sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Now, let's go ahead and get started with making this build. So the first thing that you need to go ahead and do is make it out of the small forward position. Now, with the actual build name that we're going to be getting, you're going to be able to get this build out of different positions, but today, as long as we're able to get a point forward or a playmaker type build name, that's going to work out perfectly. Now, this is just a guide on how you should go about building one. Now, let's go ahead and get started with the height. So, essentially, a lot of people pick between 6'7" and 6'8". Now, in my honest opinion, both of these heights are going to be perfect, but if you want to get most and all of the dribble moves unlocked, I would be going with 6'7". Now, for the weight, this is pretty optional considering the bully badge going into the new year. I would definitely have to say, I would really think about the weight if you're going to be going with the lowest, but if you want to be the fastest, definitely go with the lowest of 180. Now, for the wingspan, you definitely need to adjust this to make sure that you're going to be able to get the threshold of unlocking all the dribble moves in 2K23. Now, Mike Wang has come out and said that you need at least an 86 ball handle to get most or a majority of the dribble moves. I'm going to go with an 86, so with the wingspan, you have to go with 6'8". Now, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of this build. So, when it comes down to contact dunks, the dribbling, and the shooting, you definitely have to go ahead and make sure that when you're making your build, you're going off of the requirements that are needed in order to unlock certain animations. So for the finishing, I'm going to go with the close shot of a 52. Now, that's just for badge purposes, but when it comes down to the driving layup, I'm going to go with an 84, and my driving dunk, I'm going to go ahead and put this up to an 87. Now, all you need is to go at least to an 84. I would go with an 87 just for badge purposes. Now, to be able to actually unlock the contact dunks, you also do need to adjust the vertical. So you can go anywhere from 70 to a 75 for the vertical, and you're going to be able to unlock all of the contact dunks for 2K23. Now, I'm betting that we're going to see something same of the similar builder system that we have right now. So for the shooting, Mike Wang also did come out just yesterday. In order to be able to shoot consistently, more people are going to be needing around an 80 to hit consistent who are new to the game, but for those who have been playing for years, he said you might get away with at least being in the high 70s. So for the mid-range, I'm going to go with an 82. Then the three-pointer, I'm going to max it out at an 88. Now right here for the free throw, to be able to take this build into any game mode, I'm going to go with the 91. Now right here, we get a total of 27 badges. Now honestly, this build looks super overpowered considering with the tweets that Mike Wang did come out with yesterday. Now, he also did confirm that when it comes down to your badges as well as your takeover, this is going to play a huge factor in how well you're going to be able to shoot as well. Now, for the playmaking, I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of 92. Now, keep in mind, when I'm making this build, I'm pretty much going solely based off the requirements for 2K23. When it comes down to the contact dunks, the shooting, the playmaking, and next will be the defense. But right here, I did max out my ball handle and the speed with ball. Now, I'm making sure that on this build, I'm going to get at least an 86 ball handle, being able to be 6'7" as well. Now, when it comes down to the defensive area, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is going to be balanced. I'm not too worried about the inside. So for the perimeter, I'm going to go with an 86. Then for the block and steal, I'm going to max both of these out. Now for the rebounding, this really comes down to how many badges that you want to be able to unlock. Now throughout the year, we were able to unlock extra badges from each season. So for my liking, I'm going to go with 20 defensive, and right here, let's go ahead and get into the physicals. Now these numbers will change going into the new year, but I'm telling you right now, as a guide to make a point forward, this is going to be the best way to go about it. Now for the physicals, I'm maxing out the speed, my acceleration. I did go with the 75 vertical to get the contact dunks, and then I did throw the rest into my stamina. Now for the badges that we did unlock, I feel like we have everything that we need, especially when it comes down to the playmaking. My main thing that I did want to maintain on this build was going to be the 6'7" height. But honestly, I feel like the takeover is going to be the biggest factor in what we're going to be able to do. Now for everybody watching to this point, go ahead and let me know in the comments, what kind of build are you looking to make for 2K23? Now for my very first build that I want to go after, looking to make a Kobe Bryant type build. So comment down below whether you're trying to replicate an NBA player, as well as if you're trying to go ahead and make your own. Now from here, the batch count is pretty solid, especially considering that I'm betting throughout the year next year we're going to be able to get the extra badges from each season. But today, we did receive news of what the new boat is going to be looking like for 2K23 on current gen. Now for everybody who is here right now, go ahead and also let me know. Are you going to be playing 2K23 on next or current gen? Why, if you are, is it because you have friends or you just don't have a new system? Now, if you want a new system, let me know in the comments and I might have to go ahead and give one away. I'm just letting y'all know right now. But when it comes down to the actual takeovers, we have the shot grading, then also on top of that, we get the sharpshooting, so that was pretty expected out of what we did for the shooting. Now for the playmaking takeover, this will be essential because we're going to be able to break ankles and get a 99 ball handle when activated. But as for the lockdown takeover, this will play the biggest role in how we're going to be able to play defense. Now for my liking, you really need to take into consideration, these normally do give you a plus 10 towards 2 different areas when activated. So for my liking, I would really go first with the lockdown takeover or the sharpshooting. Both of these are going to be overpowered, especially to work with on day one. My liking, I'm going to go with limitless range for the first takeover. The second one, I'm going to say extreme clamps is super overpowered to pair up with this one. Let's go ahead and check out the build name. And as y'all can see, together, we got exactly what we wanted. A two-way, 3-point playmaker, but you can really consider this a point forward as well. All you need to do is adjust some of the attributes, and I'm telling you, you're going to be able to maintain that point forward build name. But like I said, I did want to get at least some type of playmaker or point forward build. Now let's go ahead and really check what this build is going to be able to do once we put on the badges that we're going to work with. Now a couple different things that I'm going to be looking at. Since we did pick sharpshooting takeover with lockdown, if you do buy your own boost, that's +4. And going into the new year, if you run with teammates that have on Hall of Fame badges, that will give us a +4 towards our offensive stats or defensive. That's going to be a +18 when our takeover is activated. Now let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badges. For my liking on the finishing, I'm going to go with first, silver, fearless finisher, as well as gold unstrippable. From there, I'm going to go with limitless takeoff as well as posterizer. Now, slithery finisher is a solid badge to work with as well. But going into the new year, we still need to consider the new badges that we're going to be seeing out of each tier as well. So for the shooting, I'm going to go with first, Hot Zone Hunter on gold, as well as Hall of Fame Sniper. For the next 17, I'm going to spread the wealth just a little bit, going with gold, Circus 3s, as well as Deadeye. Now you cannot forget about Green Machine if you want to go with the lower tier. That's perfectly okay, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is. Now for the final 4 badges, if you want to spread the wealth, going with bronze, that's okay as well. I'm going to go with silver blinders as well as bronze clutch shooter, or you can even go ahead and put on volume shooter. Now let's go ahead and look at the playmaking. We actually get a good amount of badges out of this area as well. So for my liking, I'm going to go with first, hyperdrive on gold, as well as quick first step. Now with the badges for the playmaking, the main thing that I always take into consideration is if I'm putting on the correct badges that are solely going to help out with how fast I'm able to dribble, as well as with the animations that I'm able to unlock. Now, when it comes down to these few badges, I'm also going to go with gold handles for days as well as triple threat juke. The main one that I would say to throw on is going to be tight handles on gold. Now from here, let's go ahead and wrap it up with the defensive area. So from here, you can pretty much go about it basing it off your favorite defensive badges. Now for my setup, I'm going to go with something like Silver Chase Down Artist. You can't forget about Pickpocket, that's going to be essential. Now going into the new year, there's going to be a few different badges that are going to be different from what we're showing today. But honestly, I'm super excited about going into NBA 2K23. A lot more room for growth, and I just want everybody to have a great year to start it out. But man, this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. We get a total of 20 defensive badges, 28 playmaking, 27 for the shooting, and we finish it off with 17 finishing. But man, to everybody who finished this whole entire video through, thank you for the support, and again, thank you God for this day and opportunity. But man, with all that being said, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Now, if you want to be a part of the Rich family, go ahead and turn on post notifications and hit that like button as well. Comment down below, where did you tune in watching from today? And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank you, God, and Rich out.